Welcome back. And now it looks like we have a pretty solid ground plan. I've added a few more dimensions to locate the masking elements in the space, but I wanted to also show you what happens if you make the mistake that I often do too and forget to go into a viewport in order to annotate it. You'll come over here to pick up a dimensioning tool, and you'll snap into the drawing, and you'll say, oh my goodness, 4 3/4 inches, that can't be possible. And then you'll remember, oh yeah, I am not inside the viewport, and therefore I can't really annotate it properly. Now I'm going to show you why we might stay out of a viewport, and that is to go ahead and put a title block onto the drawing. And you can put a title block to the bottom right corner, or all the way across the bottom strip. There are a few things that you really have to have in the title block. You need to have the title of the work, of course, and the show that it comes from, the date and the scale, who drew this thing, and the designer's name if you're not the designer. Sometimes you end up drafting something for a designer. I like to also put in the name of the director, makes them feel good, and the producing organization as well. And finally, you should have a plate number on there, an overall drawing number. So I'm going to illustrate some of those things for you here in just a moment. So your basis for the title block would be a rectangle. I'm not going to select the rectangle yet. I'm going to change my color to black. And title blocks and borders, if you'd like to put a border around your drawing, are always in 0.5 or an extra heavy line weight. So I could start up here in the upper corner. There we go. And I could make a nice decorative border around my drawing. And isn't that pretty? I tend to not do that, saves ink, but there's nothing wrong with it, and a lot of designers do put a border in. And then you can build yourself a rectangle here. Now, if you're covering over an element of the drawing that you don't care about so much, you could always come into the fill. We haven't really looked at fill in a while, and make it a solid, and in a particular color. This would be white, or the color of the paper. Make it a solid, and it just obliterates the drawing that's behind that. And then grab my line tool and draw a line across here so that I can put in the title of the show. The show title should show up here so we know what this unit belongs to. All right, so I can come in here and write demo, or class demo, what have you. And I'll have to be out of the, and this is a place, interestingly enough, this is the one time that you can't X back to your select tool, or of course you would create the letter X. But now that I grab my select tool, you'll see all that is highlighted, and I can change the text size again to whatever size makes me happy. And drag that thing around until I get it on the page where I want it. Okay. Additional lines inside that title block would probably be object lines, and I can draw an object line. Come draw an object line over that existing object line, and then I can move at a specific number of inches if I want to get fussy about my layout, and I do. So I'll use minus 1/2 inch. That doesn't look like quite enough. Maybe I'll go minus, oops, Control Z, move it again, another 1/4 inch. That looks like it has room now for the drawing title. I'd also like to make room for my plate number. And you usually want to make a plate number in a series of plates. So this is plate number, and then I'm going to say 1. Now I'm going to make that a super large piece of text. I'm going to make that what? Maybe 144 point. Is it going to be too big for this? Not really. Not really. It's obliterating some words because I still have the no, it's maybe not obliterating those words after all. I lied. Plate number 1, so it really stands out. Of, and however many plates I'm going to have in there. Now, the first time you do this, it's a little tedious, but here's what's wonderful about sheet layers and about Vectorworks or any CAD program in general. I can go over here to my old measure for measure drawing. I can grab my, oops, Control Z, my favorite friend. Oh, it's just I didn't grab anything, I just started writing something with text that I didn't want to write. I can use my select tool, I can grab all of this, I can copy it, then I can bring it into the drawing that I'm doing now, plate that I'm doing now. And voila, I have a plate, or I have a title block. And it has all the information I need on it. Anything I need to change, I'll just edit. All right. So that concludes our use of making a title block on the sheet layer outside of the viewport.